The Mountaineers have their final home game of the season as they take on the Raging Cajuns. I'm Joshua Cordenmeyer alongside Appalachian State head coach Angel Elderkin. Coach, last time out, it was a tough defensive battle against ULM. Your team battled all the way through, even though ULM really had your team beat in several statistical categories. Talk about that game as a whole and what you learned.
Right immediately after the game, there was a lot like, winning a win, we had to grind it out. But I had to take the time yesterday to recognize our team and our defense. Without our defense, I don't know if we win that game because we struggled on the offensive side of the ball. I thought their defensive game plan was really great. They did some things that people haven't done to us in the past. Hopefully too many people won't steal that game plan and throw it at us again, but you never know. We could see it today. We'll be more prepared for it. But I just like the grit and determination. I thought the stretch of Laney hitting a three, Tierra hitting a three, those were big possessions that Monroe didn't have. So overall, just gutsy win, made our free throws. I think in our offensive goals, the only goals we made was free throws, and we made more than them. So just try to emphasize when you're having a poor shooting night, those points at the line are really important.
You're coming in now facing a Louisiana team that last time out you were neck and neck with at the half, and just a dry spell in the third quarter ended up getting out of control. Talk about this game and what you saw in the last one.
Yeah, so last game down there, obviously offensively we started out pretty good in the first half in the way we were able to score the ball. Defensively, number 35, Doucette for them, came out with a different mentality, and that's what makes their team dangerous. She can go for 25, she can go for 6. You never know. We have to prepare. I think going into that game, we had watched her on film leading up, and she was that 6-point, 8-point player. So I think this time around, we know what she's capable of, and so there'll be an emphasis on her. Their freshman guard, number 2, is a difficult matchup for us, just in terms of the way that she scores the ball. So we're going to look to play a little bit more zone. Obviously, she's 50% from the 3, but with a team like them, you got to be willing to give up something, and they really do a good job of penetrating and getting the ball in the post, and hopefully the zone can kind of suffocate that and give us some opportunities for us to get out and run on them.
Is the emphasis for the zone not to give up as many paint points and just post presence as much as you have against ULM and against the last time out against Louisiana?
Yeah. I mean, basically what I've told our team for the past 2 days is we're playing to our zone to limit penetration so we can get up and pressure the ball, knowing that these guys are quicker than us, but we have protection. We're trying to limit post touches when it does go in there. We're bringing a double and really going to make the exit pass tough. One concern I do have is our board play. Because of the zone, you're not necessarily matched up, and they are a good rebounding team. So if we can limit penetration, limit post touches, and then limit their offensive board play, we could be successful. The other key is not to freak out if they make threes.
Offensively, last time out, Maddie Story came back for the first time in 2 games, and she struggled offensively, and we've talked about it before. Ashley Polachek was on a tear and cooled off here at home. How can you get Maddie Story going again and get Ashley Polachek to play a more consistent brand of basketball?
With Maddie, she needs the reps. She had a serious injury, and so just getting her and having her presence, she did what she needed to do for us defensively. Offensively, her timing is a little bit off, and I think for us, we can't push it. We can't put the pressure on her. We got to have some other guys step up, and then that way maybe she gets a free look at the basket, and then once it goes through, she'll feel good. But I think as a coach, if I'm like, run this play action to Maddie, I'm just putting more pressure on Maddie. Her teammates have to take the pressure off her. Ashley's got to be consistent. I mean, in Georgia State, she's unbelievable. Georgia Southern. And, she's still our floor general, and she still does some things. But obviously we're a completely different basketball team when she takes high percentage shots and when she's knocking down shots.
Now, of course, moving forward, it is Senior Day, and you're honoring Maddie Story and Ana Perez-Gomez. Can you talk about both of these players individually and just what they've brought to this program?
Yeah, I think talking about what they bring and then talking about our keys to the game. So in talking about Ana, I think the best way we play for Ana today is we play 40 minutes of positive energy. Since the moment she stepped foot on campus, she has been positive through everything, being away from Spain, playing some, not playing some, staying here all summer, getting herself in great shape, getting her skill set good, and then suffering a career-ending injury. But through it all, she has remained a positive person in our program, positive vibe. The second thing, when you talk about Maddie's story, is we have got to outwork Lafayette today from start to finish in what Maddie Story has done throughout her career from start until I hope it's a finish a long way from now, is she's been relentless with her work ethic. And I think both players have left an unbelievable mark on our program. And I'll tell them this before the game, and I'll tell our listeners, they have left the jersey in a much better place from when they put it on, and that's making an impact.
And lastly, big game. Of course, you have 3 games left on the season, currently trying to move up those Sun Belt standings. It is senior day here in the Holmes Convocation Center. Any final thoughts? Anything you're going to tell your team? Of course, this was one of the worst losses that you've taken against a Sun Belt opponent so far this year. Anything you're going to tell your team before the game?
I keep reminding them that it was a bad loss, but we beat ourselves. And what I've constantly been talking to them about throughout the past few days is we need to control what we can control and make sure that we don't beat ourselves. And so putting the focus on us, keeping the focus on our mission, and playing this game one possession at a time.
Thank you, Coach, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thanks.